Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of Fascination Street with me, Jimmy Pearson, your host. I had a little bit of a swap round this evening. So instead of being sat next to something very small and loud, I'm sat next to something very small and furry. And oh.
Sorry.
And over that side.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, yeah, we've got Mika and Sarah in the hizzy.
We need to look down at the camera to look into the... It's a bit strange, that.
Right. Okay, so the reason for the change about tonight is Mika is not very well. He's had quite a bad night. I think about 3 a.m. Was it about 3 a.m.?
I've had hardly no sleep.
He's had hardly no
whatsoever.
sleep. We've spent a day walking around Dover Castle. He's done some great footage, but we've kind of we've got home. We've got home. We have kind of rushed about to try and get online. Realised last minute we had a bit of a problem with the camera, which, incidentally, for those that were with us the other night, realised we had a camera problem as well, or maybe didn't. Maybe we managed to carry it off quite well. We didn't have Sarah on screen throughout the whole thing, and it wasn't until the end and it was over that we realised Sarah wasn't there. So, can everyone see Sarah and Mika this evening?
We seem to have a bit of an issue with the chat. I don't know what's going on with that.
No, we have to have. Hang on, guys. Bear with us. You have to have your speaker on.
No, I don't need the speaker on. I just need to bring the chat room up.
Dun, dun, dun. Have we got a chat room now?
Yeah.
I've got the chat going.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, what we'll do is we'll just...
Woohoo! Made it. Hi, guys. Davey.
Hey, Davey. How are ya?
Uh-oh.
Sorry. We're just giving it a few minutes. We're just going for a couple of last bits. As I say, we left it all a little bit lastminute.com this evening because obviously our day out. Give everyone a little bit of time to catch up with us and get in.
Mark's in.
Mark T. Runner. We got Davey.
How you doing, mate?
There you go. You've got your moderator.
Yeah.
You're now in blue.
Thank you.
Davey, all good, guys. Sorry I missed the last show. Was
That's
great
totally
looking
fine.
forward to tonight.
Hey, no worries at all. It was only me sat there for a couple of hours anyway, Davey, because you never got to see Sarah.
We didn't realise that my camera wasn't working.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, true story. And it wasn't until the end and everything had been done, it was like, and by that time it was too late to do anything.
I've just added a like.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah,
Smash that like. Smash it. Smash it hard. Hulk smash.
Maybe.
Dave King's in.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Your face was lovely, Mr. Pearson.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange one. There's us both talking, thinking that everything was working, and it wasn't.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, our camera's not working now.
Look at him. He's all dull. That's another small thing that's really, really tired as well. Fascination Street dog in the house. Hey, Doug. You say hello? You say hello to everyone? No? Okay.
We're just having a night where we're just going to have a little talk.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to interact with you guys tonight and see how you have found our beginner's guide. So we're going to give you our rundown. We're going to go through who we've had, what we've learnt, and then we're going to ask you what you learned from each person and what you didn't know and what you found interesting or strange or weird or wonderful. So, yeah, we're going to be interacting with you tonight, and then the beginner's guide will continue from next week.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got I don't know whether or not you guys want to get a pen and paper ready, but we have got dates, and we have not just yet. We'll give everyone a little while because we'll always have the usual stragglers, i.e. Tanek, not to name and shame Tanette, but Tanette. So yeah, just.
And we're also happy because we have hit 272 subscribers.
I know. We're catching up with Dave King.
Yeah, Dave King. He's almost hit the 300.
Have you hit 300 yet, Dave?
Wait.
No, not Davey. Dave King.
Dave King.
Dave King, not Davey.
King.
I thought you said Davey. I was like, no,
No,
not
I
Davey.
can do that. 294 subscribers, Dave's got.
Mate, I did put something out to try and get everyone else to subscribe to you. I know you're 6 away from that dream.
Hey, listen it.
So,
Hey, Tanette.
if anyone in our chat room doesn't know Dave, he does the most wonderful art bell compilations, and he makes them himself, and he puts a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of hard work into making them. So, if you've seen him in the chat room, go to his channel, give him a sub, please, because he deserves it. He deserves it. 6. I want Dave to be up to 300 by the end of our show tonight, or the end of our show next weekend. Depends. Depends. We're gonna get you to 300, Dave, because I nearly got out a naughty word there. Did you notice?
Yeah.
You totally deserve it. You really, really do. That stuff that you're putting out, the time that you put into it, yeah, you deserve 300, mate.
4 to go.
Okay, Mark, the cryptid guy has not been on. We have rescheduled, and we will let you know at the end when we're going to have him on.
Yeah, we have got a date.
We do have a date. It's not for a little while yet, so he's going to be a little bit of a scraggle on the end of our beginner's guide. But at the moment, our beginner's guide seems to have gone a lot longer than what we thought, and we're hoping to get a lot more people on.
Yeah, we're looking into a few other subjects as well. I've got a few more names. We've got one that we're going to be looking into this week. Sarah sent out two emails, three emails.
I've sent 2 messages to 2 different Egyptologists.
Yep.
I haven't heard back, although they've both seen the messages, but they may be busy, so I may have to search around for someone else. Yep. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, Jasmine.
So yes, we're looking into that.
We've got guides to Wicca, paganism, Celtic myths, fairies, all these different things that people have asked us to look into. Yeah, oh yeah, magic. Don't forget magic. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Alchemy. We've got alchemy coming up as well. Ascension, and a few others. So we've got a few good beginners guides, and the people we've got coming to do them as well. They're good
in their fields. They are good.
Absolutely, and we'll be able to release some more names later on.
Hi, Gerald.
Was that Gerald Yates?
Yes.
Hey, Gerald, how are you? Thank you for coming over, and thank you to everyone for coming over. I appreciate there's probably other things that you'd rather be doing, but you're giving your time to us. So for that, much love.
Right, asking for spellings.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. That's
Oh.
There you go.
See,
okay.
The show's taking a bit of a weird turn now, isn't it?
Sorry, guys, I'm new. I don't know how to type quick.
So, if there's any other beginner's guides that you can think of,
anyone at all,
you would like us to tap up, get on with, because I mean, it was meant to be 4. It was only meant to be for the month.
Yeah.
And it's way surpassed that with a lot more to come. So, but in the meantime as well, we've also got some other good shows coming.
We have,
haven't we? Next week we've got the beginner's guide to remote viewing with Alan Steinfeld. We've managed to get hold of Alan.
Hollow Earth.
If you don't know who Alan Steinfeld is, he is Yep. Okay. He done a remote viewing class, and it was actually under the supervision, or rather instruction, of Russell Targ. And if you don't know who Russell Targ is, he is the guy that helped set up the remote viewing program at SRI with Dr. Hal Puthoff. The Psychic Third Eye Spies movie that I'm really looking forward to seeing, that's coming out later on in the year. And Alan is just a total all-rounder and an absolutely fantastic guy. He really is. So if you've got time next Saturday, please come and join us, because Alan Steinfeld is just an amazingly cool guy. And I remember watching him many times over on Natasha's show, Mysterious Forces Live, and absolutely, the guy just blows me away every time I listen to him. So there might be a little bit of hero worship next week. It could happen, or it may not.
Good. So,
Davey, brilliant. You want to get hold of me? My email is in the description box, and that'd be great. We've had a couple of ideas in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hollow Earth.
Okay.
ooh,
Who would we have for Hollow Earth?
I don't know. We'll look into that. Dowsing and ley lines.
Interesting.
Yeah. And John has said ancient civilizations.
ooh,
Ancient civilizations.
Are we doing that?
Okay. If you've got other people that you know that are very, very good in these fields, then also please give us the names, because it's a nightmare otherwise. There's an author that I'm trying to get hold of at the moment, and it's turning out to be a real pain in the bum. And it's an author called Lisa Chamberlain, and she's done an extremely fantastic series of guides to Wicca. The Beginner's Guide, the Spell Book, Herbal Wicca, the Kitchen Wicca, all these different bits and pieces she's covered. And her books aren't that expensive. They're all available. We got, I don't think we got it here, have we?
What's that?
Yesterday, the book that we got the Wicca Book of Spells.
Give
me a second. Get out here. Keep
Oh,
talking.
did you?
Keep talking.
Yeah. It's going to grab
Hey
that.
guys,
And that's our book to Wicca.
would you like me to take over for a minute, Dad?
So yeah, we're
Okay.
looking into some great people with some great content. So astrology. Jasmine, yes.
I'm trying to think. Who do we know that's an astrologer? We know someone that's an astrologist.
Tarot. Yes, we have someone
Yep.
coming up with tarot.
Yeah, we've got Michelle Emery.
Yeah, she is coming up in a couple of weeks, in fact. So
This is
Freddie Silver for Ancient Civilizations.
That might be a bit of a trying to tie Freddie Silver down for an interview. I saw Kelly, how difficult she struggled to get hold of him. So
Well, we'll see what we can do.
So there we go. Lisa Chamberlain's Wicca
Thank you.
Book of Spells. And yeah, the other books and that she's done, quite phenomenal. The whole series. So if you have a bit of an interest in sort of like pagan beliefs or Wicca beliefs or witchcraft and things like that, modern day, obviously, then it will be perfect for you. Right, so where are we at so far? Dowsing ley lines.
Thank you, Davey. He's put a video out of Bristol Ley Lines Mapping Society, so thank you for that.
Oh, nice, Davey. Thank you.
Templars, Jasmine.
Who?
Templars.
I
was
don't know. That's a bit controversial, that one, isn't it? Templars. Might say,
Lord Josh.
For
Maybe one on the castle.
Lord Josh for
What would it be? Astrology, Davey?
well, we're at the moment talking with Saroth and Lord Josh about doing our magic one.
Yeah, we've already spoke to him about the magic.
Yeah.
We're trying to tie him down.
Not literally, obviously.
Well, you
Because
never know,
that would
you
just
might
be
like
weird.
it.
We're a family show.
Maybe do one. On the castle.
Lord Josh on the Taoist weather magic. Yeah, that's going to be part of energetic healing. Now, I'm also in talks with someone at the moment who goes round doing energy healing. One of the girls that I work with, she's her next door neighbor, and she's always traveling around. So she's actually trying to hook us up with that one. So that's a good suggestion.
Maybe Dover Castle would be a good one.
What, do a show from Dover Castle? We can't. We're under 1,000 subscribers.
Mysterious places.
No, what I'm talking about is maybe we could do one based on Dover Castle.
But I don't think people would really want to know about our local castle, would they? The amount of videos that we put out about it. Yes, there are a lot more videos coming out over later on. We may try and get a couple out tonight. We definitely release them on YouTube tomorrow. And that'd be Mika giving you his tour of Dover Castle.
Which channel would it be?
Haunted sites around the UK, Davey.
Oh yeah.
Michael Lee Hill
For
could be for a lot of the different things we've got going. Jasmine's going through her library at the moment. Ruins.
Jasmine.
Dream interpretation.
See, that's one that I'm interested in.
Yes.
Dream interpretation. Got any names for that one, Jasmine?
Because I done a little thing the other night about dreams, didn't I? How it
spirits contacting you through dreams.
So yeah, that'd be.
And if you didn't get that bit, I did link Dave King's Art Bell page to that as well, because it has the Night Terrors episode on there, which again is all about your dreams, programming the dreams. Yeah, that was really well worth a couple of hours of your time to listen to. Again, Dave King, great content. Please go hit subscribe, get him up to 300. Come on, people.
We just lost one subscriber for him.
Davey has put, I think Mika should do a show on his influences and any influences he might have got from TV shows and cartoons.
We did want to do one on Star Wars, didn't we?
Yeah. Another one is chakras.
Yep.
What's up with that vortex place in Oregon? Sarah?
As long as I don't have to say Ohio, then I'll be fine.
Ohio.
I have to think about it.
Time traveling. Jason Quick.
Jason quit. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we should have no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Jason's the Match Experiment just put an awesome video out about the devil card in tarot.
Yeah, I saw that. Very, very cool.
Right, hang on, because I'm losing my place on. I want to make sure I get all of these written down.
So I think everyone has this on social media anyway. So if they can, if you can think of anything, please, by all means, private message us, DM us, do whatever you want to do. Just get it to us, and we can see what we can do. I mean, can't promise everything, but we'll certainly have a good go at trying to get people.
One of the comments: Star Wars, Jimmy, better be Leia.
I'm not being Leia.
And then
wait, I'm putting money on it. That's John. I don't know. I can't read that from here.
Bottom one.
Yeah, it's John.
And then we've got Davey that says blinking Star Wars.
Davey.
Right, so Mika's influences is one that we could do.
Yep.
After the beginner's guide, whenever that's going to end.
At some point as well, we do want to fit in one of our usual Ask Me Anythings as well, because it's been a while since we've done one of those.
Yeah.
And we have got a lot more new subscribers and viewers than we had beforehand. So to have another one of those would be fantastic.
Do a show on Firefly. John could do that. We're all going to tap you up for one of the shows as well, John. So
we want to try and have different guests and that people that you've never heard of, people that you've never seen. I've got a couple.
No one's seen John because he hasn't been on anything. He's coming on us.
Yeah, I've only seen him naked in pictures. Just saying.
Let's not go there. That's for another show. That's for a Thursday night when the child's not about. Herbs, stones, the metaphysical properties.
Stone herbs.
No.
Stone herbs, stones. Stone herbs.
Herbs, stones.
Stay with me.
It's all good.
We have got quite a list to have a look, see who we can get.
Davey and his cabbage.
Yeah.
Get that on for an evening. That'd be one in itself, wouldn't it?
I was young. I needed the money, John. We understand.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Megalithic sites.
David, straight face, Jimmy.
Only thing about me that is straight, mate.
No comment.
I know. I know. What's up with you, baby face?
Attention to it.
No. No.
Wow. Okay. That is amazing.
And now you've lost the page.
More like
catch up.
For what? Catch up. No, put it there.
All right, that's okay then.
Okay, I know I'm going.
I'm glad you do, because I don't.
Gemstones.
That's under the stones one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that will come under the herbs and stones.
Yep.
Okay,
we
well, there's
also,
a few that we can go and have a look at.
so we want to do
What's that?
one on shamanism,
Gnosticism.
Gnosticism.
Yeah. That's one I've never heard of. A beginner's guide to amazing feats of strength and extraordinary people.
Just watch X-Men, same thing.
But you see, this show we do for you. So this is stuff that you want to know as well. And stuff that I know that many of you have been in the community for a long time. But also it's sometimes it's the simpler things that are looked over.
Yeah.
You hear all of the gobbledygook and you take that in. But and Susan.
Who?
Sue Walker. Hey Sue.
Hey Sue, how are you? Much love to everyone out in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
So yeah, we're just going to do a recap, Sue, over all we've been through. So we'll be going over.
Oh, we've been through. You've made it sound like an ordeal.
We're not what we've been through. All the beginners' weeks we've had so far. I mean, there's been 5 so far, and
Only 5.
only 5.
I thought we were up to 6.
No, not yet.
I'll make the next one 16.
What's that one?
This one, remote viewing.
Mark can do a show on flat Earth, right?
We're going to tap Mark up for mechanics. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have a mechanic one. We're going to get him to strip a V8 and right in real time and talk us through it.
I'm going to enjoy that one.
Okay, so our first week that we started off with was Paranormal.
Kat Hobson.
Kat Hobson.
I would like to say, before we start on this, that every guest that we've had on, we hold in very, very high esteem. If they weren't friends beforehand, then they certainly are now. We've been so gifted and so lucky with the people that we've managed to get on so far. Some of them are already friends, but again, we still hold them in high esteem. So I just want to put that out there before we start. And that's one of the good things about being able to do what we do. Having this platform, we get to feed ourselves with the knowledge. We bring the knowledge to you. And some of these people we've never met before, never known, but yet afterwards, we always end up as friends. And I think that's really, really important as well.
Absolutely.
I can't honestly say, I don't think we've ever had one bad guest. I don't know why I keep looking at you because you're on my camera. I've got to try and get myself out of that now.
I know, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. It's all because of the podcast the other night.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone that's come on, we do genuinely hold in very high esteem, and we're so glad that you've all appreciated everyone that we have had on. So thank you very much, genuinely, from all of us.
And obviously, all of you have become friends.
So I've done it again.
As well. You've all become very, very close to our hearts.
Yep.
And without you, we wouldn't be doing this.
Even sort of maybe not close to the heart, but Pat's kind of like he's there, and he like shoulder to shoulder, not quite heart yet. We haven't seen Pat. Where is Pat?
He's not on it. So just put, I wonder if you could invite Clifford Mahuti.
I've always wanted Clifford
to talk
on
about the beginner's guide to star nations.
I would have Clifford on in a heartbeat. I adore that man. And
absolutely, we will definitely see what we can do soon.
So, if you could make that happen for us, we would genuinely appreciate that. Yeah, give us a Clifford. Go on, mate. There's some people that I know in England. They're not quite all there, but that would be great.
And how about past lives?
Yeah, I'd be good with
that. She's also put, how about Sasquatch Structures 101 done by Colorado's Bigfoot Mark Abel.
We're open to anything. Absolutely open to anything and anyone.
Jimmy, point
That's it.
the camera so it's in front of Sarah looking at you.
Right, okay. I'm gonna get out of this. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Just don't hit the camera with your ears. marks, but
Okay, I'm fully fixed on the camera. I am not moving.
okay, so past lives is another good one, and near-death experiences.
It's because I've got this horrible thing about talking to other people and having to have eye contact with them. It's really bad. If I can't hear you, you're not there.
Hello?
Paranormal Photography 101, taught by Daryl Stokes in Sedona, is also possible. Thanks, Sue.
Wow. What time we got? All right, Doug.
Right. Stop writing now. So we can trim those nose hairs, braid them instead.
Who's got nose hairs? I've done it again. Who's got nose hairs?
Okay, so our first week of beginner's guide was Kat Hobson with Paranormal. Now, what did you learn, Jim, with Kat?
I love her. That smooth southern accent. Yeah, she's just adorable in so many different ways. There's a lot that I learned, especially with like regards to like the paranormal energies, and stuff like that. When she sort of like said about the different kinds, you know, the residual and stuff, and going out and doing investigate, because the investigation part I also found really fascinating, because although you go out ghost hunting with like your friends as teenagers and that, you kind of go off in groups and you like mess about and that, and it was the whole concept of them following you home. That to me was a little bit, that was a bit spooky.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that's something that Mika pointed out, because we went to do a paranormal investigation a little while ago, and he was like, "No, absolutely not. It could follow us home." And I was like, "Wow!" So even you noticed, picked up things. So what did you notice, sir?
Well, obviously seeing a lot of programs regarding ghosts and things like that, just like movies and things, actually knowing that salt does actually work on entities. So things like that, of knowing that salt, sage, summoning, absolutely amazing, truly amazing.
Yeah.
And knowing, obviously, yes, that you've got to protect yourself when you go out and investigate, and to ensure that, yes, nothing does attach themselves to you, or that you pick something up that can be attached with an energy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very, very amazing. And like you say, the residual energy, where something just repeats itself, where they don't know they're dead,
Yeah,
and they just continue with their life day in, day out.
Yeah.
The evil side of the energy, where you end up with poltergeists and things like that. So that, truly amazing. And yeah, you kind of think when you see them in movies, oh yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then to actually know that it's actually true. And it was the little bits of information like that that blew me away. Blew me away.
Yeah. And the way she put it out there as well, I mean, it was just beautifully done in every aspect. It was precise. It was just smart. There's nothing, there's nothing about that woman that I don't love. I absolutely adore Kat. And to have her on was an absolute treat. Was there anything that, oh, Mika, what did you pick up from Kat's show?
I've picked up now to be more sensible, not to be more, well, I'm going to be silly.
Yeah, but some of the things you come out with was, I mean, that even blew me and Mummy away.
with the Michael Jackson thing, that was the most interesting one, I gotta say. If you haven't watched that one, I suggest going over and doing that. Because that was one good one.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember a time where I didn't get involved, because I did.
There were certain bits and pieces that you knew more about than me and Mum.
Yeah.
So that was very cool.
And also the fact that when we were up at the castle and you got your scanner out, I was just like, Dad, stop. You're going to bring it home. And you just go like this. Oh, that doesn't matter. So you keep on going. I say, Dad, you do know it will pick up their radars. And you go, oh.
No, they're walkie-talkies.
They're walkie-talkies.
If they're not protected.
Yeah.
Yes, and then speaking through, actually hearing voices through the different channels and bringing the channels up.
As well is still, however the weather, Dad still heard a voice. It wasn't from a walkie-talkie, nothing. What was I'm now getting in and I'm helping Dad, aren't I, with the feelings. So what did he kind of say to you?
Who?
The voice that you heard when you were down that dark bit and you heard a voice.
I can't remember.
Oh, you're talking about the castle?
Yes.
Well, let's not give too much away because that's going to be on your video, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that was on the last one.
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember what was on it.
Mm.
Remember, that was weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. Sue has suggested that Mika interviews other kids who have had experiences.
Yes.
It's very difficult trying to find those, though, isn't it? There's not real kind of a great deal of resource out there for us to be able to find other children and things like that. So
I can do interviews with adults.
It's very true, Gerald. Yeah, when Mika speaks, people listen, but also he makes sure that he's heard. He does have a knack for that.
Yeah, very much so.
True that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about
it. There you go.
And he's so modest as well. So modest.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we want to now hear from you. What did you pick up from Kat and the Paranormal 101? What did you think you knew, and then it was clarified that maybe you didn't quite know as much as you thought?
Or just in general, what you thought of Kat, because
that was brilliant.
Yeah, and I would like to have Kat on for another show. We have talked about it as well, so be interesting to see what else, because I mean she has like so many strings to her bow. She really, really does. I mean, radio presenter on KBHM, digital radio, all available through Spreaker, Fake Magazine Radio. She's a panelist on other people's shows as well. You know, she is just genuinely just an all-out great person, isn't she?
That's all right, Sue. You know, you need to catch it. It's fine, darling. We don't expect people to be able to listen to all the shows. We just wondered, people that did listen, did get to actually watch what was going on. Did you learn anything new? Was there a bit more clarity to what you already knew?
Anything?
No.
Nothing. Outrageous. I think, all in all, though, you know, we can just basically sum up that was genuinely a great show. I mean, great show, great subject, but also it kicked all of this off as well. So it was the first blood, weren't it, really?
Yeah. John said, I knew about the Stolt, but it's cool to get it confirmed. And I liked how you can do the shows again with those guests. Absolutely. We are going to have them back.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And do a bit more in depth rather than just a 101, and branch out to other areas that they specialise in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
We will recap, but not quite quite as simple as what a 101 is. So,
What is
absolutely,
101?
John.
It's a beginner's guide, darling.
Wow, fancy one.
Okay, let's move on to week 2.
Right, so week number 2 was Ray.
Right.
Week number 2 was Ufology, Phillip Mantle.
It was. Absolutely.
British UFO royalty himself.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
What can I say? I learned a lot. Well, I haven't just learned a lot through the show, but also being friends and forging a good friendship with Phillip as well, since the show. For me, I mean, the main blowaway moment of that was the talk of Pascagoula with Calvin
Yes.
Parker. That was because I didn't know I'd heard of it, but I didn't know any specifics or anything like that. So to kind of go into the whole kind of conversation about obviously him and his friend being abducted while fishing, the audio tape that had been left secretly recording the conversation between the two guys afterwards in the police station, and then going on to the marks that had been found after they'd been abducted, and now knowing that other people have now come forward further on in time to verify the case.
It's like the people across the river, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Again, I think with the ufology thing, some people aren't going to come forward straight away. You have to have like a certain gestation period where people need that time to either come and corroborate your story or anything like that. I think that's a big
makes
one.
sense of it.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
It must be something so strange to see somebody across a river, some strange object come down from the sky and take a person.
Well, it was two. Yeah, in this case, it was 2, weren't it?
Yeah, I mean, how on earth could you take that on board and work out what on earth was going on?
Easy, they're trained. They're trained to know all this stuff.
But
And
these people weren't. These 2 people
yeah.
that saw, they were just bystanders that were
Oh,
out on a walk.
I thought you were talking about the aliens.
No, they were out on a walk and they saw what happened.
And then the follow up as well of the guy that went to the town, and then done all the follow up with it as well. That was very, very interesting. What was it? I'm trying to think what nationality he was, and he got there, and then sort of like the priest was the same nationality. That was pretty mind blowing. I mean, what are the chances of that?
Yeah.
You know, Pascagoula. I mean, it's not like sort of like walking into like Las Vegas where you've got like a massive community of people where you're going to find someone like that anyway. But you turn up in this little place, and you know, you got the guy there, the father of the church, and he's the same. Yes, that was pretty spooky. And also hearing as well a lot about the British UFO scene as well, because like most of you that know us know that we cut our teeth with the US UFO scene. So to learn a little bit more about home, yeah, I mean, Phil was the man, absolutely. So what did you learn, Sarah? What was your best thing on that? Best take?
Oh, hearing about the Pascagoula, I mean, I'd heard of it, but nowhere near as much information as there was. And to only hear that within the last decade that more people have actually come forward for you.
No, I think it's sooner than that.
Sooner than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark said it was terrifying thought to be abducted that way. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But the thing is as well is they it's not like it was something that jumped out behind you and then done it. I mean, we're talking things that, you know, Calvin and I can't remember, was it Chris? Calvin and Chris actually saw come out and at them. So it's not even like it was sort of like surprise, So you're there and you've got this going on. I mean, what, you're frozen with terror? I wouldn't even like to put myself in that situation. I mean, if you would like to know, you could always ask Calvin when we've got him on.
Yeah, won't be long.
We've got Calvin, the Pascagoula abductee, coming on.
And Phillip will be joining him as well.
Because Phillip wrote the book. And it was really nice because, again, learning that Phillip wrote the Pascagoula book on behalf of Calvin, because Calvin knew that Phillip would write it the way that he spoke.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other people wanted to write it, grammar, punctuation, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Calvin, he's a very nuts and bolts kind of guy. And I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, without a doubt. So, yeah, we do have Calvin Parker coming on soon. So, any questions with regards to the Pascagoula case, you can ask the man himself.
Yeah, he's very up for having the usual chat that we do with you and the boys. Well,
And ladies.
With the guest and the boys.
Yeah.
And then I take your questions throughout their chat, so we don't interrupt the flow of chat, which is why we do it this way, to ensure that the flow isn't interrupted, people don't forget where they were or forget important facts that would otherwise come out. So that's why we always leave the questions till the last 45 minutes of the 2-hour segment, so we can quick fire the questions off one after the other, so that it's done that way for that purpose.
You don't want to stop mid-flow because it stings.
Billy Boy Cosby has just joined us. What's this live about? But okay. Really? Well, if you don't like it, you can more than welcome to leave. You don't have to be here.
Oh, we got a troll.
We do.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, I've been told to shut up.
Have you?
So, leave. You don't have to be here. Okay. So, yeah, Phillip, truly amazing guy. He's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Third week.
Third week was
Easter.
Oh, my life. That was right.
That
was right. I did get it right. And we did receive in the post a copy of his book.
Yes, our first troll tonight. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Annunaki Awakening. So yeah, again, Ray, a very long-term friend. He's been with us since basically we joined the Fringe community.
Yes.
Again, another very, very talented guy, a guy we shout out on a regular basis. Always loved, supported, helped any way that he can. In fact, it was through Ray that I met Kat Hobson. So again, very, very, very cool with that. So yeah, for us, learning about the Annunaki, again, aware of it, heard it 1,000,001 times, no idea about it. So everything there was a full-on learning process.
Yeah, totally 101.
So, is he gone?
I don't know, but we just lost our troll virginity.
Hey.
Whoop, whoop.
I can't believe that one of the first people said, "Shut up, woman."
He wasn't. He wasn't the first, John. Oh, okay, but it's been a while. Hey ho.
Oh yeah, because remember.
We're not going to lose any sleep.
No, none at all.
No.
None at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so, yeah, everything there was an absolute like learning opportunity. I'm still a little bit crazy. Say crazy. I'm a little bit phasey on certain bits and pieces because, again, I will need to go back and watch that one because that was a lot of information to take in for like the first time. But yeah, I mean, how we kind of come from that to this, it's mind blowing. The idea of sort of like being sort of like worker slave drones and from an alien race that are here to mine the gold. And yeah, I mean, I can understand to a point. I mean, when we said about it, there was a fair few people that kind of said, oh, it was quite a controversial kind of idea. And but again, it was asked for, so we we provided and we
Yeah.
supplied.
Absolutely.
You're right. Having fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I'd never heard of it. Well, I'd heard of it, but never understood it. So getting the 101 was very, very interesting, and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. And the fact as well that we learned, because we didn't just cover the Annunaki with him, we also covered his affirmations. So if any of you follow Ray Davis, you'll see that he posts everyday affirmations. I have just received his affirmation book as well, but I've got it through electronic, so I've got it as a digital download. So I'm going to be making my way through that. There's a lot of great stuff that Ray does. His blogs, his affirmations, his writing. He's just one really, really busy guy. And again, he's someone else that we're going to have on because I'm going to do a show about a beginner's guide to affirmations as well.
Yeah.
I spoke to him, I think was it last week or the week before, about coming on. But he's just doing a big move at the moment. So once that's all over and done with, then we're great. You haven't already set a date? No,
No, not yet.
no. So yeah, so as soon as he's moved, then yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, we wanted to wait until we actually got the go ahead that he had moved and was settled before we jumped on him again and asked for a date.
Pinned him down.
Because I am like that. As soon as I see someone, I jump on them.
True story.
Yes.
True story.
If I can get them on the show, they'll be there.
I've been able to wriggle free for like 16 years. So it's a true story. That once she's on you, she's on you.
Okay, Jasmine, what about mixing the show up with book club themed shows? For instance, give your viewers 2 months to read Ray's book, then do a show on it like a book club.
What's the size of this thing?
Yeah, it's having the time to read something like that.
This is huge. It's going to take me about a year to get through it in between researching shows and working. And
That'll be a bit difficult for us, although it's a great idea, Jasmine. I do love that idea.
Yeah.
We would find that quite difficult. Davey met Ray when he was 8 years old.
Really?
It was amazing to see him and be able to chat. Thanks, guys. It was my favourite show. Oh, bless you, Davey.
Wow, that's cool to know. When you look at Ray, he doesn't look that old, does he?
No.
You know what I mean? He looks like 40 odd. And I know Davey's like 38.
Yes, John, I do believe it's they're all audible. You can get them.
I believe so. I know that if you go to his site, you can actually get the MP3 affirmations from there as well. I'm trying to think of the name of the site now. Is it Affirmation Spot? Affirmationspot.com, maybe?
It's just me and you now.
Oh, God.
Okay.
He's awake. He's awake. He's
Oh,
awake.
there he is. No.
Yeah.
He's almost asleep. So.
That's why I hate when he goes on holiday, because that means I have to talk to you. It's great having him about.
Yeah, but we're talking to other people as well, so you're not having to just talk to me.
Indeed. Indeed.
Oh, Davey's 47 next week.
Oh, Davey. Are you having a birthday show for that? You having a birthday show? With a Buckfast celebration? We rename it the Breakfast Club to the Buckfast Club.
The thing is, though, it probably will last till breakfast.
Yeah, Buckfast to breakfast.
Yeah.
That'd be...
Birthday chill.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We've just had a Junior join. Hey, are you a psychic? No. I am not.
I think we got another.
But we do have somebody in the chat who is. How's the knee, Jim? Mark's asked.
It's okay. It's holding out. It's managed to withstand the Dover Castle today. So yeah, a little bit of rest, a little bit of painkillers. I mean, it's all related to my spine, so I'm kind of at a point now where I know what I need to be doing, how to be looking after it, and bits and pieces. So I just kind of wrapped it up for a couple of days, didn't I? Mm-hmm. And
okay, Diana, we're actually doing a recap of our 101s that we have done over the last 5 weeks. Special guests that we've had on in certain areas of the fringe community. Oh, John will be at ESETI on his birthday, and it's on Saturday. Oh, I hope you have a fabulous time. So a week today.
What's going on with the chat story?
Take it off and put it back on again.
Okay. Strange. Very, very strange.
That is because that is the wrong one.
I knew that. I was just testing you. It's great.
For some reason, we have got 2 separate live shows going.
Really?
Yeah.
Is anyone else out there having any other problems? No.
Oh, okay.
So, is that not working?
Jimmy is the ventriloquist and he specialises in British ladies' voices. Like you would.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty good. Have we lost chat?
No, we haven't lost chat. It was on the wrong one.
Nothing there.
Well, that's because it's on the wrong one.
Oh, you gotta love technology when it works, don't you, folks?
It is working, but it just selected the wrong one. For some reason, I seem to have 2 different events up. So I'm just going to see if I can sort that out.
Okay. Yeah, we when we went to fire up the show earlier, there's like two different events planned, but we only set up one, so it's a bit of a weird one how that's going.
Yeah, I do apologise.
Anyone think there's gremlins in the system, you know?
Yeah, could well be.
Gremlins. Tinet's has buffered a couple of times. Sue's just quiet. Jasmine, I'm stateside. Transmission is good. Transmission. Oh, sound almost professional. Right, so where are we at now? So, Ray. Still on Ray, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah. How does everyone feel about the whole kind of idea of the Annunaki? Because as I say, like when we first sort of like said about it, it got a little bit of a raised eyebrow. And everyone sort of, and I know with a lot of people, you know, a lot of ancient alien theorists suggest that it's a real thing that we should be taking seriously. And with the right eyes, there's enough information to suggest that just because it's improbable, it doesn't make it impossible. So, interested to know what you guys think about it. Because again, as I say, we found it really interesting, learning along the way. I mean, is it possible? Are we? I mean, there's a lot of people working with the general public, which give me absolutely no doubt that they are definitely alien. There's also a fair few that come through that make me think, yeah, definitely ape. So I get a kind of a bit of a mixed bag on that one, you see. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know. Not got anything coming through yet? Right, you're busy doing that. Do you want to take over doing the chat?
That's fine. I'm back.
You sure you're back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ray was such a delight. It was okay to hear the different point of view.
Yeah.
Because Jasmine doesn't always agree with what he says, but we don't expect people to understand and agree with what everyone says. That's not the way life works. You don't agree with everything.
Absolutely.
How do the Anunnaki relate to Atlantis? That's something that we can ask him when he comes back on.
Yep.
Only know the side of things from the Ponti have shared with us. True, Sue. True.
You got to let that out. You can't just stop there. You can't just stop there. Seriously, get those digits going. Full pelt, please. Full chatter.
Tinette, I'm still wondering if they were good or evil.
You see, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the other side of the coin. Were they good? Were they evil? I mean, if you're going to kind of go out of your way to create a slave race, then I don't think there's anything really good about that.
No.
Is there? If you're in sort of the whole sort of like slave thing, I don't think there's ever been a time where sort of like anything related with the word slave has actually ever been a good thing.
No, but just like now, we've all got consciences and we've all got the good and evil in us. So
yeah. Well, that's it. Again, if they were all drones, they were all slaves. I mean, would the level of consciousness still have been the same, or would it have been, a few that kind of derived the concept and kind of went a bit rogue? How does that work? Very, very interesting. And that's what I mean. Like, to learn about it, you do tend to find yourself with like a lot more questions afterwards. Because I mean,
more questions than
I
answers.
think there's only ever been one show that we've ever done that I've actually ever watched back. I've never watched my own shows or anything like that because I don't know, it just seems a bit egotistical, to be fair. But again, as I say, the Anunnaki one, I do definitely want to watch again.
They're mentioned a lot in history, so there must be something in it, Mark says.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Exactly. I mean,
true.
Sumerian history, Sumerian tablets and things. I mean, it can't all be wrong.
No.
There has to be
an element of truth in that.
Exactly. There has to be an element of truth for it to even become an idea.
Yeah.
Would that be right?
Well, for it to progress through
Yeah.
and be taken. Because a story, there's always an element of truth in the story.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Whenever anyone turns around and says, just joking, there's always an element of truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a story that's sort of like come about in sort of like the last couple of 100 years. I mean, this is age old, predating even, predating Christianity, predating all of that. It's all there. I mean, this is how we were meant to have started out.
Yeah.
So, is it possible?
Anything's possible.
That's it. So,
John's book, we domesticated animals, kind of like the same thing in a way.
Yeah.
Very true. Sue, the Ponti consider the Anunnaki or the Annun from Ki. Ki is the word for island or land surrounded by water or water world.
Oh.
As one of the subjects of the E or elongated skull folk.
Yeah.
A separate set of I think that's how it's pronounced, EA,
Mm-hmm.
were in South America as compared to the Northeast Africa, Middle East, Sumerian island area.
Mm.
The two sects did not get along at the time.
It'd be interesting to know whether or not the Eye of Africa was Atlantis or it played an important part in those times. Something that's always fascinated me, the Eye of Africa, the landmass there. I mean, it's perfect for the way that Plato described Atlantis. It's got the same site, same number of rings and the inlets and things like that. So, but you never get permission to kind of excavate there, so they just make things so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about it, it's not that far away from Spain, where a lot of people believe that Atlantis was anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where do you guys think Atlantis is? Because
interesting.
I'm looking at who we got here, and I know there's a whole lot of intelligent people. Yeah.
Knowledge, experience.
So where do you guys think Atlantis was? Because as I say, I mean, I always thought it would be around the Africa area. I mean, some people have even suggested Antarctica. We've had like out in the Mediterranean, a lot of Spain. A lot of Spain.
Okay, so just to recap, Jasmine said, right, for me, it's mythology with a big M.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good conversation, though.
Yep.
Jeanette, who's loving having Sue Walker in the chat? Absolutely, Sue is amazing.
Yep. Just
Lovely.
a shame Mika couldn't stay awake because he loves his Sue.
He's dead to the world now.
True story.
John says, was Atlantis or a colony? I think they were more in Antarctica. Davey, why do you think we don't get to excavate these things? Because they don't want to know the truth, or they already know the truth, and they don't want us to know the truth. They want us to know their truth, not the truth.
They want us to know what they want us to know.
Antarctica to Bimini.
Okay.
And that was Tinette. Mark, maybe the Earth was called Atlantis.
Oh.
Yeah. I like it.
I like where you're going with that. Yeah, for sure.
Sue, Atlantis existed when the ocean levels were a lot lower than now.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different civilizations that are underwater now. So yeah, it's a no-brainer on that one. I mean, some of those underwater cities they've found, phenomenal, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at some of the ruins and some of the statues and bits and pieces that are down there. I mean, you cannot tell me that we have not evolved from a master race somewhere along the line, because to have all that technology that far ago, that long ago, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Right, keep talking. I'm going to try and get the boy up to bed.
Davey, I think Atlantis was a sunken archipelago. That's right. Off the east coast of the UK, called Doggerland, where the Druids possibly come from. And just say good night. Just say good night to everyone.
Good night.
No night. Hey, Dex. Atlantis was like the world now, all over the world. Yeah, very true. Sue, true Jimmy, the underwater coastlines anywhere, everywhere holds evidence. Oh my goodness, there is so much evidence everywhere. So much underwater that we know more about Mars and the moon than we do about what's in our waters. So who knows what is actually there. Plus the underwater city of the coast, Cuba. Interesting, John. Yeah, bless him. He's so tired. I mean, I was up at 3. I tried getting him back to bed twice. He ended up getting into bed with Jim, covering up with him after I'd given him lots of paracetamol. That's it. So yeah, bit of fresh air today, and hopefully he'll sleep like an angel tonight. Let's hope anyway. Yeah, it's a bit stuffy. So east of Tulum, on the eastern coastline of the Yucatan, the area is filled with underwater ruins as well. There's so many ruins everywhere, isn't there? So many. Like I say, they just haven't been looked at. I mean, how do you get to the ruins? It's going to be divers. You can't excavate the water. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. So tonight, root words: Atlantic, Atlantis, Nimura. Oh, John's reading the new Graham Hancock book. He kind of thinks Atlantis could have been North America.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I am back. Hey folks, sorry about that. I had to get one little boy up to bed. I know. Well, the thing is, we start laughing and chuckling, and that while he's fast asleep, it's not fair. Don't want to wake the little guy up. He's had a tough 24 hours, but he tried to hold on for as long as he could. So kudos to Mika.
He wanted to come in and say hello, and I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did.
Yeah.
So Mark, that would explain all the megalithic sites around the world.
Where have we got so far?
We're still talking, obviously, the sites. John's reading the new Graham Hancock book. He kind of thinks Atlantis could be off North America.
Mm-hmm.
East of Tulum is on the eastern coast of, I think that's Yucatan. That area is filled with underwater ruins as well. And I was like I said, how do you, apart from diving, you can't excavate.
You see, that's the thing, right?
But we know more about the moon than we do.
There we go.
About our underwaters.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much of this Earth that we still haven't discovered yet. I mean, so how are we expected to know? I mean, there's probably things down there. I mean, I shouldn't imagine a lot of these places were kind of gradually taken. I imagine a lot of them were probably taken in like quite a savage deluge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been to Pompeii, I've walked around Pompeii, and to see the damage that was caused by Mount Vesuvius when that went, but yet they've still managed to find out so much about that place just by excavation and bits. And you can't do that on these sites, but yet it probably holds the keys to where we've come from and who we really are. But yet we can't get there to look at it and find out about it.
Yeah. John said we could use underwater drones to explore. Very true, but would they actually go to the very depths of the water that they're saying a lot of these ruins are?
There are certain ones that can. I mean, there's that one that they take down to Titanic, which is like 2 miles down. I mean, it takes a long old time. I think it takes about, 4 hours or something to descend, or maybe even longer than that.
Wow.
So underwater submersibles, then yeah. But again, we're still ploughing so much into kind of exploring space and that we're not ploughing the money into where it should be going, which is obviously finding out about our own home.
Yeah.
Finding out about Mother Earth. So for me, I mean, to a degree, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, right, fine. We want to know about space. We want to know other places we can go. When we finally balls up this planet, which I think we're sadly doing.
It's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But we need to know more about us, where we come from. Because, I mean, like the global warming thing is such a hot cake. I mean, everyone says that we've been through so many different cycles over and over and over and over again, that it's inevitable. It's going to happen anyway. And I should imagine with pole shifts and things like that, it's going to, it's going to go one way. You're going to get cooked a little bit more and back the other way. And then things are going to be as they were for such amount of time. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a no-brainer why we're not looking into our own Earth, our own heritage, and preserving what we have rather than destroying it.
Mm-hmm. John says 29 years ago, Mount St. Helens erupted here in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the underwater ruins are in less than 150 feet of water.
There you go. That's that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, they can be looked into.
I was trying to think. I mean, that's no deeper than sort of like mid-English Channel.
No.
The sea that I cross. I mean, that's actually maybe just a little bit deeper. But I mean, we're talking 20, 30, 50, 20, 30, 40 foot, maybe maximum. But again, it's not really a great distance to get to, is it?
John's corrected. It was 39 years ago, not 29. What have we got? Tinette, they've just disclosed another underwater city discovery. She's forgotten where though.
Interesting.
Jasmine, she's listening in but leaving the chat. Bye, Jasmine.
Thanks, Jazz. Thank you.
You'll still hear us then if you're staying with us. Tonight I have some glass made from the ash of, I'd imagine, from
Vesuvius.
Vesuvius.
Ooh.
and John's got a wall figure made of that stuff too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's an amazing place to go. I never got the chance to go to Herculaneum, but I mean, there's an amazing documentary, which was put out by the BBC. I'm trying to think who it was. Margaret Manford, I think it was, which explained why the devastation in got my name's teeth in again. Herculaneum was a lot worse than Pompeii. And again, just so eerie walking around there. But again, you find yourself in certain places, you can just pick up on the vibe. You kind of you get that. And then when you see like how advanced these people were, I mean, walking around like the streets and that, I mean, they even had a one-way system for cars. And that was in like what 40 was it 46 BC, 46 AD, Pompeii. But yet they still had that. They still had certain houses of ill repute that you could find by walking down the street and finding a phallic symbol on the curbstone itself, pointing in a certain direction, and that would point you to the house of the night. Bit of a weird one. I don't know if my mum's still in the chat room, but me and my mum went together, and we went into this Roman house of the night, and it was so funny because when you walked in there, every room that you went, they had like all these rooms. They were tiny, don't get me wrong, and you had like this concrete slab, which is probably about 6 foot long and probably about 4 foot wide. And above each doorway into the room was a picture of that lady's speciality. So, yeah, it's that's what I mean. It was just so advanced for the time. Again, you can't tell me that that's some kind of backward, age-old community, right? That's a no-brainer. Sanitation. When you walk in there, I mean, you had like the court again, all well designed. And the thing is, that was done on like 2 levels. So the first level was obviously probably soldiers and bits and pieces, but on the second level is the judges, the priests, probably the executor as well. And they would sit up on these pillars and judge you from there. And that must have been so horrible. But yeah, very, very special place. There was a special place in my heart for Pompeii. It was very, very cool.
It says, Rev, there are lava tunnels under Mount St. Helens that you can hike in.
Really?
Wow.
I think I'd probably give that one a miss. I'm not very good at running at my age now. Because me being me, it'd be just my luck. It would be that time. Absolutely.
Okay, shall we move on to week 4?
Week 4. Yes. Okay.
With our great friend Sabrina and psychics.
Sabrina Campbell and psychics. Again, what can you say about Sabrina? In fact, there's no words for Sabrina because she's just awesome in so many different ways. There was a lot that we kind of knew with regards to psychics. And again, it's the same as kind of the ufology field. It's a shame that there were so many people there to kind of make it as it is. Because I mean, everyone in the chat room knows Sabrina. Or at least I think everyone does. Anyone new with us that isn't?
No, there's lots of blue there.
Blue, crikey! It's a sea of blue. So everyone knows Sabrina. Yeah, it blows me away every time she's on.
She's spot on with everything.
Yeah. And
absolutely spot on.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I can't really say enough about her and the show as that was, because again, you just learn as you go with Sabrina. And I mean, we know Sabrina so well, and we've had so many video calls with her. And
you say it's going to last for half an hour, and it's 4 hours later, and we come out with our cheeks hurting. Well, we've all been laughing so much. Funny. Yeah. I mean, we spoke to her when she had a sinus infection, so she was feeling really quite low. Well, by the end of it, she was almost tiddling herself, laughing, and her cheeks hurt so much that she forgot about sinus infection.
That was it. Although
So-
she did sound like a dog's squeaky toy when she was
Yeah.
trying to breathe in through the nose. And that was quite amusing as well.
Yeah, that with the chair squeaking as well.
Yeah, the internet.
Yeah,
See,
with
that's,
the internet.
everyone remembers the internet.
When she
The
jumps up and down.
Yeah, our little dance that we do across the ocean, try and send sort of like better internet vibes to her. Psychics. Yeah, it's a shame that so many have kind of muddied the waters for psychics, the same as so many have for like the field of ufology, and made it into more of an entertainment than what it really is.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's really sad. Because there are some fantastic psychics out there, and they don't get the credibility that they deserve for that very reason. It's like when you mention sort of like, tarot to certain people, they laugh. And I mean, we spoke about it at work a little while ago because I took my cards in to give one of the girls at work a reading. And, you know, everyone kind of laughs. And when you're kind of getting into doing the reading, then everyone wants to know. Everyone's kind of all very like, oh, what's going on here? Can you do mine for me afterwards? Oh,
And then they're surprised when it actually
yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's the same with Sabrina. I mean, everyone has had, I'd like to think they've had a spot on experience, because I know for a fact I certainly have, which is why I again hold her in such high regard, because I was always skeptical about psychics, because here in the UK, a lot of psychics that we have are dodgy. Derek Okora especially. Again, he would have been a perfect candidate for like the James Randi show for sure.
That's the first name that popped into my head then.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's that frauds that program that we watched, psychic frauds, where they're all being not debunked but proved to be wrong.
Yeah. And how it was all researched beforehand. And
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, again, so sad. But again, I think wherever there's money to be made, there's always that certain aspect that, people are going to be in to kind of infiltrate it to make. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's it's sad. It just muddies the water for people that are actually good at what they do. So yeah.
So we've had Mark say we all know about the internet.
About.
Yeah.
About.
Lizzie's joined us.
Hey, Lizzie.
John's written, I had a good and bad experience with psychics, but really love Sabrina.
Yeah. Have you ever had a reading from Sabrina, John?
Yes, he has. Hang on a second, where'd it go?
Was that on one of our shows?
Yeah, she helped me deal with my dog Missy when she passed.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because you both lost dogs at the same time, didn't
That's
you?
Right. Mark's written, everyone has that nagging curiosity. So true. But with all the readings that Sabrina has done for us and for all of you in the chat room, we've always asked that you clarify to prove that she is the real deal. And details that she'd come out with, you'd immediately put, yep, she's spot on. Yep, she's spot on. And she was spot on with all of our readings too.
And friends of mine that she'd done readings for as well. Yeah, absolutely spot on. I had a friend of mine get hold of me after one of the shows, sort of like in tears. Just so joyous that she got to hear what there was to hear. And there's no way, obviously, Sabrina being out in Canada and my friend being over here, there's no possible way. And I don't know enough about my friend to pass that kind of information on or anything like that. So it's there is something to it, 100%. I believe that genuinely.
Yeah. So John said he's not had a reading one-to-one with Sabrina, but obviously had the reading on the show.
I highly recommend it, John.
And when she said that Missy wagged her tail sideways, was right on target. So he knew then.
Yeah. No, I had a private one with Sabrina for my birthday last year. And
sorry, bye Sue. Sue's got to go.
Bye Sue. Bye. Love to everyone. Don't forget Clifford Mahooty. Clifford Mahooty. Clifford Mahooty. I love you. Yeah, I had one. Kelly got me one for my birthday last year from Sabrina, and it's surprising what you learn about yourself as well. Not just those around you, but also you learn a lot about yourself during that. So if you can, I would genuinely highly recommend booking some time in with Sabrina. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, we've got Dex is here. Hey Dex.
Yeah, Dex and Lizzie.
Right, if the child's not here, are we allowed to fake?
I don't see why not.
You've already started.
No, I've got it in my hand. I haven't faked once, so we're gonna fake. Don't tell the child.
Yeah, don't. Shh, we're doing a naughty. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think about psychics and obviously Sabrina in general? Because we know that a lot of you had readings, a lot of you asked questions. So, what are your takes, especially on Sabrina? Sabrina, because obviously she was our guest for 101 Psychics. And did you learn anything new?
Just thinking, it's a shame that Sue's gone because she's our next person we're talking about.
Our next one.
Maybe that's why she went.
Maybe it was. Sue, did you know?
No, it's that time, isn't it, and that day where they get together and they play psychic dominoes with Clifford Mahooty.
Oh yes, of course.
Isn't it? It's Saturday. It's that
Saturday.
time.
Yes. Yes. So Sue, sorry, we are about to talk to you after we spoke about Sabrina. So.
Yep.
But I've just told her. So she'll know. Okay. Now we're just missing Pat. Yeah, absolutely. Pat's had a couple of readings on the show as well.
Pat's been missing in action for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes us anymore. I think now my hair's got longer and he can't see my ears, the novelty's kind of worn off. Just saying.
No, Mark's taken over that baton.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it with quite as much grace and finesse as Patrick. He's a bit of a specialist at it. So got some big boots to fill there, Marky.
Pat said, "Nice ears, Jimmy."
Fantastic. Hey, Michelle's in the chat room. Hey, Michelle. As you can see, everything's changed a little bit. No little man, Michelle. So we're just shooting the breeze this evening.
Yeah. Which is nice. Yeah. And a bit of a catch up. Okay. So are we all done with the psychic week 4? Should we go on to week 5? The last one that we've had so far.
And then we're going on to our Stanton Friedman tribute after that.
Yeah, and then we'll get the diary out. Do you vape because you're quitting smoking? That's
No.
Mark.
CBD oil.
Jimmy quit smoking and went straight onto vape.
I didn't smoke for a long, long time. And then I started using CBD oil.
Yeah.
So I started vaping CBD oil because it's the only way that we could get it at that time.
I smoke and vape because obviously I can't smoke around Mika, and I smoke downstairs in the kitchen underneath the vaporizer thing. And I don't smoke in the car either, so I vape. So it's cut me down, but I do still smoke.
Bad habit.
But yeah, gotta have one. Don't drink. So.
I know.
Okay, Michelle, so glad to hear folks talk about the power of psychics and how important honesty is.
Yeah,
absolutely. Michelle. Absolutely.
I don't know. Have you ever come across Sabrina Campbell, Michelle?
She's been on a few of our shows.
Yeah, but don't forget, Michelle's a newbie.
Yeah, you can recap on a couple of our shows there, Michelle, if you wanted to go back over. She's done readings for a lot of the chat room as well.
Yeah.
Always
does readings.
has also verified everything that she has
What
said.
cards does she use? Oracle cards.
She uses Oracle
cards
that's
as
right.
well. She does Oracle card pulls during the show. She doesn't do tarot. So yeah, she's as I say, she's a very, very personal friend of the show and the audience. Everyone knows Sabrina. Everyone loves Sabrina. She's a genuinely lovely woman.
Yeah.
So
She's
wasn't
not
too sure.
looked yet, but
No.
she will do.
Yeah, genuinely, she's fantastic, and she's such a good ball of fun as well. You'll love
Such
her.
a laugh.
You really will, Michelle.
Always do have a laugh on the shows. And
In fact,
private
I could see
conversation.
her on the chill at some point.
Oh, she'd be amazing.
How much fun would she be to have on Davies? Davey, you need to hit up our friend Sabrina and get her on the chill one weekend.
Davey is still in the chat, because I haven't heard from him for a while.
Oh no. Oh.
But yeah, I think Sabrina's been on 3 times with us.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, it's always been a barrel of laughs. If it's not been the internet cutting out, it's been her spot on readings.
Yeah, spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, Davey's there. He's still here, dozing after a veggie lasagna. Nice. Cool. 9:30.
Hey. Is it an early one tonight, Davey? Early one?
I hope he's still not having trouble with your insomnia.
Davey, yes, Sabrina will be great on the chill.
But we'll tap her up.
Yep.
Because obviously time zones are a little bit difficult, because obviously.
But
then
she's in Canada, so yeah, it's only 5 hours, I think.
5
difference.
hours. But then you have
the
so
chill.
many
So that's what 4 in
the
the afternoon.
From the chill.
Yeah.
It's an early night tonight.
Ah.
Yes, John. The chills are long.
We love the chill. The chill is good fun.
I managed to last 3 hours, but Jim done the whole 5.5.
I hurt the next day.
Yeah.
And then I went on straight after, and then I watched half an hour of Saroth talking to himself on Saroth the Mage's experiment page, which was quite funny. It was meant to be a conversation with him and Sam, but you couldn't actually hear Sam, so we just got a very inebriated Saroth filling space, which was quite entertaining in many, many different ways. Me and Jasmine both trying to contact everyone just to let them know, but they were sort of like so into what they were doing that no phones were kind of looked at. So our attempts were in vain, big time.
Yeah, it was nearly 6 hours last Sunday. That's right.
5 hours 51. If you look at the timing.
Yeah, I managed 3 hours, and that was me done.
But you had to do the school run in the morning, didn't you?
I did.
So, what I might do is, is I may join tomorrow night for about an hour because I'm working Monday.
Yeah, right.
But
join for an hour. You could never put a time zone on how long you join the chill for.
Well, I'll aim for an hour.
Smoke alarms and flaming trees of life. Oh my God, yes. Him setting off the smoke alarms. Dear me, so funny. Okay.
If none of you have ever watched The Chill, please subscribe to Davey's channel. Go over and watch The Chill one
Great
Sunday night. The guests are brilliant.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You've got my babe, Robin Eagle song over there. I love Robin. She's just the best. Where's Robin from? Is she in California?
Who is Saroth? Saroth the Magic Experiment is an amazing guy.
Saroth the Maj. He was on last week's chill with us, and it's the first time that I'd actually got to speak with Saroth. He is genuinely a lovely guy. He's really into his magic, and to talk to, an absolutely delightful guy and a real gentleman to heart. It really is. I've had a few chats with him offline. Again, I'm trying to get him on, one of the other guys, Lord Josh Allen, to do our magic show for us. So, yeah, Saroth. What I'll do is I'll private you a link to Saroth's stuff after the show, Mark. I can do that for you, mate. His YouTube channel. Unless Davey, are you able to bang a link up for us?
He's not a mod, but I will change that right now.
Robin is in LA. Yeah. So Robin Eagle song. She is just the greatest.
Dave, I'm going to put you as a moderator, and you can put a link to your show.
Or just keep Davey as moderator because Davey's Davey.
Yeah. So
100%.
you're now a moderator, Davey. So you can now put a link into your show. We will allow it.
Yep. Your show, and if you've got Sarah's to hand as well, if you can put that in as well, so everyone can check those out. Michelle, who's in the chat room, you've done a show with Sarah, haven't you?
John popped in just to check it out and watched it for a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
There you go. Cheers, Davey.
That's Sarah's.
That's Sarah's.
There you go, Mark.
Uh,
Yeah, and put yours in there, Davey. Come on. Don't be shy.
I'm a mod. Yes, you are, Davey. So now you've got to be a good boy.
Davey doesn't like the responsibility, but it's cool. It's cool.
Slaps head.
Oh, slap it.
Okay, let's go to our last week that we've done, which was last week, obviously. And Sue has just left, unfortunately, because we were just about to talk about her and the fabulous Otter.
Rev.White Otter.
Yeah.
What a guy. What an absolute gem of a guy. In another life, he would be Ozzy Osbourne.
He would. I was just thinking
He
that
would
exact
be
same
Ozzy
thing.
Osbourne if he was British, 100%. He's a darling. I love it. The conversations that we have, like, behind the scenes as well. What you see when we have Sandia on is totally different to what you see when we have them off. He is by far one of the funniest people ever.
Oh, yeah, the language, the way he speaks, the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke. He likes the smoke. He is genuinely so funny in so many ways, and yet again, such a font of knowledge, and the things that he does as well, amazing, absolutely amazing. And the connection as well with the Native Americans is again an absolute testament to them in so many different ways. Yeah, I can't praise Sue and Otter enough.
The experience that both of them
Yeah.
put together.
Yeah, absolutely. Life experiences.
Amazing.
And life experience makes people more than an academic qualification, 100%.
Yeah.
I've always said that. You know, if you take someone like for a job interviews and that, but yet you've had someone in life, yeah, that's why I think job interviews should be on.
Mm-hmm. It's experience. It's not.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not qualifications. Qualifications nowadays mean nothing. Dr. Rick Miller, is that someone that you've been in contact with?
No.
Davey thinks it'd be great for the show. Many topics, but big on the CIA remote sensing program too. We'll definitely look into it.
Yeah, I mean that's again Alan Steinfeld why we got him coming on, because I know that he's done a session or sessions with Russell Targ, who was obviously the lead guy in getting the CIA remote viewing program together. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, we'll definitely look into that one, Dave. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so
right,
yeah,
so
with the experience of Sue and Otter, with their experience in the psychic, the telepathy, because Sue does medical
intuitive work.
Intuitive work.
Yeah.
And obviously with the telepathy as well.
I think she's also, hasn't she worked for one of the 3-letter agencies as well as a psychic?
Many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that being, or I remember seeing one of them in her bio. But I mean, it's been so long ago since we've had to read their bio because everyone knows who they are now.
Yeah.
So,
but no, she's done work for so many different lettered societies. So yeah, she's the experience there with all of that, the telepathy.
I'd say his amount of years of being like shamanic practice as well. Yeah, it's amazing. They never cease to amaze us at all. There's always something new, something good.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, sassy. Psychic Sasquatch. Psychic Sasquatch. Whether or not it be communicating with the Ponzi, which is obviously what they're best known for. But
Mhm.
again, the other strings in their bow, because they're not one trick horses at all. Which again, and the thing is as well, you know, they've become so close as friends and friends of the family as well. Um, I don't think there's ever a week that goes by where Mika doesn't talk about them as well, because
And Radar and
Mika
Peter,
adores both Sue and Otter as well.
the experience of his experience in the nighttime when he had his dream. When we had Sue and Otter last on the show, and we ended up having something hit the window.
Yep.
With lights as well outside.
And we've also got a show planned at some point. We're waiting for the date to drop, where we're going to do a roundtable discussion with Sue, Jeff Demers, and a friend of ours, Diane, to bring forth the new initiative, which I'm not going to go into, but it's called the Infinite Voice Project. So yeah, we've got that coming up soon. Waiting for a date to get that sorted, up and
We
running.
need to get all three of them together, don't we?
That's it, and
And
that's across other time zones as well.
Yeah, and all of their other commitments too. So yeah, we are working on that.
So, is there anything new that you learned from the Telepathy 101?
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't get a great deal out of it because of obviously watching, because there's an audio version of it as well, which is actually in. If you go to our playlists on our Fascination Street channel, scroll down, you'll go past all the Star Wars, Alan Watts, and things like that. You will find the Sandia playlist as well. I think it might just be above Explaining Esoterica's playlist. But everything that we've managed to find, shows that they've done with other people, lectures that they've done at psychic Sasquatch conventions, and also the telepathy audio. That's also all in the Sandia playlist, which is in our playlist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you go down there, you'll be able to find that. But it's well worth it.
John said, I can't say I had an experience, but when something weird happens, or I hear something or see something, I say, Radar, is that you? Yeah, I've had my skirt pulled a couple of times.
Yep.
That was quite an experience, and I just thank you. And Sue said it was because there was a piece of thread. Radar had told her there was a piece of thread that was annoying him. So he gave it a little bit of a tug to try and get rid of it and didn't realise I'd feel it. So
I've tried that one myself. Doesn't get me anywhere.
oh, Michelle's got to go.
Michelle.
Looking forward to being on the show. She's on
Yep.
1st of June, yes.
Yep.
So Michelle is doing our tarot. So thank you, Michelle,
Yep.
for joining us. And
maybe
we'll
see you
soon.
on the Chill Sunday if you're there, Michelle. That'd be wicked.
Tanetta said still going to pass on the telepathy thing. We all have our own opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what makes us all so different and so wonderful.
That's it. I mean, there's going to be shows that we put out that
aren't for everyone.
And just because we do certain things, it doesn't mean that we believe in them necessarily. Or there'll be certain bits and pieces of it that we're like, really? But we get you 100% on that. And again, just thank you very much for always being here and, looking at the content that we put out. Again, Sarah said it's not for everyone, but yet you hear, you chat. So that's good enough for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, we don't believe in everything that's out there, but
no, absolutely not. I mean, there's a future shows coming up, which I must admit, very tongue in cheek about. I mean, to a degree, the Annunaki one, I was quite tongue in cheek about that because of the controversy surrounding it. But again, kind of listening to bits and pieces, when they're laid out in a certain way, it does kind of get you thinking, well, could it be possible? Is it possible? Again, just you do your own research and use your own due diligence, and you make up your own mind from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There'll be bits of it that you take that, yeah, okay, I can handle that. I can take that. And then there's others who really no.
Yeah.
So yeah, we totally get you there to that.
Yeah. So no offence taken.
No, none at all.
That's fine.
And you're right, Mark. Open inquiring minds.
Yeah. Always, and that's why we do what we do. Again, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but at the same time, there might be that certain little bit of information that comes in, which is why we're doing the beginners one, that you may never have heard of before, or you may have thought that you may know something. And again, that's why we do the chat room, so you can put your questions in and ask, because you know it's the same as like when you're trying to learn a new skill or anything off of someone. If you don't ask, you don't know. And that's it. And the only thing worse than like an idiot is an ill-informed idiot.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I'm not saying that you're an idiot.
No, not at all.
But you know, that's the old saying. That's how it goes. So yeah, absolutely.
Jeanette said that she's actually got cards she's looking forward to, Michelle.
Yep.
But she doesn't really know how to use them correctly. Yeah, absolutely. I've got cards. I don't
Yep.
understand how to use them.
What have you got, Jeanette? Have you got oracle cards, angel cards, or have you got tarot?
But yeah, I just go with what I feel when I see the cards. I don't go by what's written in the book.
Yep.
Or anything
Sabrina's
like that.
taught you that, though, hasn't she?
Yeah. What I feel when I see the card, what jumps out first? What do I feel about it? And I think a lot of it is that.
Thank you, Gerald.
It's feeling that.
Yeah.
John, I go with that with Jimmy Church. Say, listen to everyone and everything, then make up your own mind.
Yep.
So true.
Again, research, due diligence. You know, just because something looks like a sausage and tastes like a sausage doesn't always mean it's a sausage.
Yeah.
You know. Again, I'm not calling you a sausage. Just
John, don't just be open-minded, but not so open-minded your brain falls out.
Right on. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so do you want to do your segment now, or do you want to do dates
Do you
first?
not want to finish off the Sandia one, or have you said everything you think we can say about them? Because again, it is.
We could talk all night about them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we could talk all night. So, yeah, there's so much that was learned. Like I say, just opening your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we done the podcast the other night, I don't know if all of you managed to watch it or.
And it was on YouTube.
Yeah, it was on YouTube rather than Anchor.
Because Anchor
and it was so much better.
A swine.
But I can't help but think that it was being a swine to push us over to here, because that show the other night was only meant to be like half-hour podcast, but it turned into a 2-hour show. But going back to the telepathy thing, we done a story the other night about why mainstream science won't investigate the function of the pineal gland. You know, is that what the main thing is, which is really screwing us up from the whole telepathy thing? You know, how much of it could possibly be power of suggestion? Again, these are all questions that we all have. But yeah, it'd be interesting to have a study done on the pineal gland to see whether or not that is partly responsible for telepathic ability.
And why children are more susceptible to it. Because their pineal gland hasn't been affected.
Absolutely. Hasn't been calcified, as well as our has after years and years and years of abuse and things like that. So yeah, it'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So so what we're going to do now is we're going to do dates for upcoming shows, who we've got, etc., etc. So we'll give you a moment to grab a pen and paper if you need to, or open up your personal organizer or Filofax if you still live in the 80s. Everyone had a Filofax in the 80s. Oh,
We've got a few dates sorted. Like I say, we're still trying to figure out a few more.
We're trying to be flexible as well, so if anything pops up, we're good to go.
Yeah.
But as I say, last week, Sarah and I both spent a lot of time hounding people for interviews, and we've we've done so well. We did get turned down by Nick Pope in the end because of the duration of our show. He wouldn't come on for 2 hours. So we can respect that. We can respect that. He's a busy guy. So yeah.
Okay, so far we've got 4 dates confirmed. We're still
one of the weeks in July we won't be available because we'll be with Dexter and Lizzie in Manchester, UK.
Yeah, but we'll probably do some kind of.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do something from there.
Yeah, we will do something from there. Whether we film whilst we're going around and then we put it out later,
or we could probably just try like a late nighter or something after one of the days there.
And a bit of a rundown of what we've seen, where we've been, who we've spoken to, and obviously Mika is going to be interviewing a lot of the guests because he is going to be the only person there that's under 16.
So what he's doing is, and he's going to be working for Awakening.
Yes.
So that's his job.
His job is to go around and he's got to sort out about half a dozen questions for each guest.
Yep, each person that's going to be there.
And
so you'll see Mika with people like Linda Moulton Howe, Sonia Grace.
Nick Pope's going to be there.
Is he there?
I'm sure he's there, isn't he?
Not Nick Pope's not there. Richard Dolan.
That's
Richard Dolan and Tracy. They're both going to be there as well. So
paper plates at the ready. You know it, Dex.
Yep. So so you'll see all that. So I'm kind of hoping with that we might also get a little bit of an in as well, Dex. Know what I mean? It's not who you know, mate. It's not. No, it is. It's who you know. It is who you know. It is who you know. Right. Okay. So you ready with the dates?
Yes. So next week, the 25th, we have Alan Steinfeld. Feld. Sorry. And that's the beginner's guide to remote viewing. The following week, which is the 1st, is our good friend, new friends to the show, is Michelle Embry. And we're doing the beginner's guide to tarot. We then have Saturday the 8th. We're not having a beginner's guide that day. We have Irina Scott.
Doctor
Irina Scott coming on and talking about her new book, Corridors. So that's secrets behind the Real Project, Blue Book, Wright Patterson, Roswell, UFO cover-ups. So that is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Back to our ufology roots.
Oh, yeah. 15th of June, we have Calvin Parker, the Pascagoula. And obviously we're having
Phillip Mantle
coming on as well. So that's a twofer.
Chief one.
And yes, he has said that he is quite happy to answer questions from yourselves.
No, John Rappaport's been banned off Twitter. How did John Rappaport get banned off Twitter, T?
Wow. He is well misunfavored. Yeah, very true.
Used to like a bit of John Rappaport.
Yeah. And we've also rescheduled Beast of Britain.
Yeah. The cryptids.
So that's the beginner's guide. And that has been booked for the 31st of August. Don't know exactly.
Wow.
That is a shock.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, they're the dates that we have so far. Set up, in stone, done. We do hope that, is it Alan, Beast of Britain?
Andy.
Yep. Is feeling better.
Yeah, he's all good. Heard from him this week.
Oh, fabulous.
He's feeling a lot better. Obviously he left it pretty last minute because he wanted to make sure that he could if he needed to. So, and we totally respect that. So yeah.
And we didn't have anything set up, so we took the evening off.
don't judge us too harshly on that. We had a family evening instead, and it was brilliant.
So yeah, they're the dates that we have. So yeah, looking forward to some of those, especially Pascagoula. I'm really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually speaking to the man. So
Coming.
yeah, they're the dates. So hope you're looking forward to those as much as we are. And obviously we will let you know of any others that we get confirmed. Like I say, we're looking at Egyptologists. Whether I'll get one of the two people, I don't know.
Yep.
But we've now got one hell of a list from yourselves from the start. I have 2 pages of stuff that we are going to go through and see what we can do. And whether it's 101s or whether it's just guests, we will see what we can do. But yeah, 101s would be great, even though it's probably going to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. But some of these ideas that you put out are truly outstanding. So yeah, we've already got Sue hopefully buttering up Clifford Mahuti, Star Nations.
Zuni Elder.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That, as I say, Clifford has always been. He's always been on my wish list. To come on. Yeah, I've got a lot of love and respect for that guy, big time. He's a very, very cool guy. So yeah, if we can get him on, then that'd just be brilliant.
Oh, thanks, Mark. Yeah, the 101 has been amazing. And it's nice to go back to the beginner's guide because, like I say, when we came into the community, there was so much that we didn't understand. And going back to basics, sometimes you miss some of the basic information and you take in all the information that's just so much.
Hang on a sec. Right, I've got to ask, John, are you channeling Pat? I need to know. Inquiring minds. Are you channeling Pat?
John, I really like the beginner's classes stuff. Even though if I know the subject, I still learn stuff.
Yeah, and that's what we do it for, John.
That's what we were hoping for. That's exactly what we were hoping for. And also for the new people that are coming into the community and the youngsters as well, the next generation. We're hoping that we're going to be able to help them move into the areas. And we also wanted to do this for Mika as well.
Yeah. So there was a lot that he learned.
The Annunaki went over his head.
Yeah.
Totally over his head. Which we knew would do.
But again, there's shows that we want for us.
Yeah.
As well. So it's kind of give or take. John. Yes. I mean, at least I think it's Pat. Is his beard not tickling your ear or anything?
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Cool. Right. So have you got anything for us? Any questions? Anything like that before we go into the last segment and wrap? Because this will be your last chance to speak or forever hold your peace.
At least next week.
Yeah. I mean, I like holding my
Thursday.
peace.
And in our group goes over many heads, yeah.
Yeah. But again, at least there's something out there. And even the fact that we managed to get to spend an evening with Ray as well, because Ray is just, he's a dude. I love Ray, so much love for that guy. All the work that he puts out, time that he puts into everything as well. I mean, he should be celebrated a lot more than he is. So yeah. And I know I speak a lot about our friends being brilliant at what they do and not getting the recognition that they should. You see, it's always a lot of the wrong people getting the right recognition, and that's bad. That's bad, But Ray should be held in a lot more of an esteemed level than what he is. So, if you see any of his stuff floating around, he's always posting on Twitter or Facebook. Just give it a read, give it a like, give it a share, because again, people that work hard deserve that recognition, Oh, cell phone. I'm judging the chat because I'm just getting ready to do the final segment, which is on Sarah's cell phone, because I'm using my cell phone to record me looking at her phone.
Which has the chat, which is what he's been looking at, seeing as
Yeah.
I've got the chat on the computer.
Yeah. Right, so closing for all questions in 5. Oh, and I've got Dougie down by my feet as well.
Yeah.
He has actually properly, don't know if I can swing it down. See if I can do it without knocking everything over. Down by my feet. There he is, look. So for part of the show, he was actually laid on my feet. So, yeah, it may have looked like I was stroking something small and furry, but I was actually stroking something else that was small and furry. Hey, Dougie. Hey, Dougie. Daddy love Dougie. Right, okay, so is that it? When? Good, very good question, John. When indeed? When indeed? Very profound. Okay, right, so last segment is a tribute to Stanton Friedman. Firstly, before I go any further, I'd like to credit Paradigm Research Group for the biography and the biography of accomplishments section. So, the famed UFO researcher died Monday at Toronto's Pearson, I'll say her name, International Airport. His daughter Melissa Friedman confirmed on Tuesday. She said he was on his way home to Fredericton from a speaking engagement in Ohio. Got it. Stanton received his BSc and MSc degrees in physics from the University of Chicago in 1955 and 1956. He was employed for 14 years as a nuclear physicist by such companies as GM, Westinghouse, TRW Systems, Aerojet, General Nucleonics, and McDonnell Douglas, working in such highly advanced, classified, eventually cancelled programs as nuclear aircraft, fission and fusion rockets, and various compact nuclear power plants for space and terrestrial applications. He became interested in UFOs in 1958 and since 1967 has lectured about them at more than 600 colleges and 100 professional groups in 50 US states, 10 Canadian provinces, and 18 other countries, in addition to various nuclear consulting efforts. Friedman was outspoken in his articulation of positions and in his criticism of UFO debunkers, often stating he was not an apologist ufologist. His positions are regarded as controversial in mainstream science and media, but Friedman claimed to have received little opposition at his many lectures, most of which at colleges and universities, many to engineering societies and other groups of physicists. He had a number of debates in the mainstream media, including one with UFO skeptic Michael Shermer on CNN. Friedman was criticized by skeptics and other Roswell researchers for taking the position that there are no substantive grounds for dismissing the authenticity of some Majestic 12 documents. Friedman himself was the first to provide evidence that some of the documents are clearly hoaxes. For example, he showed that a supposed memo from Admiral Roscoe Hillenkoetter to President Truman, dated February 17, 1948, was actually the emulation of a letter from Marshall to Roosevelt that was featured in the book The American Magic. Friedman researched the MJ-12 documents since first becoming aware of them from William Moore and Jamie Shandera in 1984. He addressed criticisms of the original documents in both sources. As an example, Philip J. Klass claimed lexicographic inconsistencies based on the use of Pika typeface in the Cutler Twining memo and offered $100 in a challenge to Friedman for each legitimate example of the use of the same style and size Pika type as used in the memo. Friedman provided 14 examples and was paid $1,000 by class. He has published more than 70 papers on UFOs, besides dozens of conventional articles, and appeared on hundreds of radio and TV shows. These include TNT, Larry King, UFO Special on October the 1st, 1994, Nightline, Sally Jesse Raphael, Unsolved Mysteries, Entertainment Tonight, Lisa, Sightings, Canada AM, Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell, and many, many more. Stan is the original civilian investigator of the Roswell incident who co-authored Crash at Corona and Investigate Unsolved Mystery Roswell program. He was heavily involved in both in the 1979 documentary UFOs Are Real and the 1993 and 1996 videos Flying Saucers Are Real. Stan anchored the affirmative team in October 1995 debate at Oxford University. This house believes that intelligent alien life has visited planet Earth, garnering 60% of the member vote. On June 27, 1997, his TV debate got 92% of 100,000 votes, called into ITV in London, England. Are aliens visiting Earth? He has provided testimony to congressional hearings, appeared twice at the United Nations, and pioneered many aspects of extraterrestrial phenomena research, including the Betty Hill star map work, crash sources, analysis of the Delphos physical trace case, and challenges to the SETI silly effort to investigate cultists. Stan has spent many weeks in a total of 19 document archives. He has also been involved in numerous specific research and development projects since moving to Canada in 1980. He takes a clear-cut, unambiguous stand that some UFOs are alien spacecraft. The subject of flying saucers represents a kind of cosmic Watergate. None of the anti-UFO arguments stand up to careful scrutiny. We are dealing with the biggest story of the millennium. Visits to planet Earth by alien spacecraft are real. Cover-up by governments of the best data is happening. Wreckage and bodies were recovered in New Mexico 54 years ago. So we've heard many different tributes to Stan. So there wasn't many that kind of listed his achievements. So we wanted to kind of make that a big centerpiece with regards to this. I never got to meet Stan. I have personal friends that were good friends with Stan. He was another one that I did want to try and get on our show. And he's someone that I held in quite high regard. Again, a great loss to the community, great loss to our family. And, you know, our hearts and love generally go out to the Friedman family because, you know, we've lost someone who's a real kind of, I don't know, a leader of us to a degree, but they lost something far more special. So to them, our love and hearts go out to you guys, and Stan, wherever you are now, you know, much love to you. And that's it. That's all I can think of. Have you got anything you want to add?
I hope he's still being
Stan.
himself.
Still being Stan.
Still being Stan wherever he is. The controversial and the truth.
Yeah. 'Cause it was only, I think it was the weekend before last that Kat Hobson actually had Stanton on her show because her and Stan were very good friends. So if you've got Spreaker, check out Kat's Fate Magazine radio page. You'll find that interview with Stanton Friedman. I'm sure it was weekend before last. That's on there. So that's it. That's the end of another Fascination Street. Thank you so much, everyone.
Shout-outs.
Oh, shout-outs. Of course. Of course. How can I forget? I'm so bad. Whenever we do a tribute, I always forget to do shout-outs. What is that all about? Okay, shout-outs tonight. Natasha, Mysterious Forces Live. Dave Partridge, Shadows of Your Mind Magazine. Brett Larson, Inquire Within. Ray Davis and Dennis at Sixth Sense Media. Brandon Young, Davey. C-Dubs and Kel. New viewers, most of which have probably gone by now. And the most special shout out to our moderators. Needed you this evening. And especially our audience. Thank you so much for coming, spending your evening with us. Appreciate you could have been a million and one other places, doing a million and one other things, but you didn't. You chose to be with us. And we genuinely appreciate it. So I'll say it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me. And we love you so much. Thank you for being here, supporting us, enjoying the 101 just like we are. And yeah, we've got many more to come. So it's a good night.
Night night.